Anyway. Let's get into it. Is this a surprise to anybody? Is there anyone in chat that's like, I don't know. Aswell might not be the best in the game. Cause I'm open to any and all opinions. I want to hear what everybody has to say. Because Tila's make good discussions. Nobody surprised? Okay, cool. Surprised didn't learn the matchup. Yeah, I think maybe in 2025 we might have 2 people that learn the matchup, maybe. And give or take. Anyway. Yeah, if anyone wants further reasoning, I can go into it. But yeah. Moving on to, hey, let's make this A+. Because these characters are very special. And then B, and then C. And maybe we'll add a D tier later, I don't know. Okay. Who's next? Now this one's a tough one. Cause even I am like, I don't know. Cause, you know, could be him. You know, could be her. Could be him. And who else is pretty dumb? It could be her. We got a lot of really good characters in this game. Also this. So right now I'm trying to order all of these characters. Right now I'm leaning towards I don't know. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'll put Ivy there. Ari's pretty fucking good. Hear me out. Like, I noticed a trend with a lot of the zoners and long range characters in this game. They don't really suffer up close that much. Like, you got Mina with the I-12-2A. You got Ivy with Christmas Tree and all that. And it's pretty crazy. On top of having some of the best range 0 mix-ups in the game. Pretty wild. But yeah, why I think Ivy, why I'm putting Ivy second is yeah, pretty much that. Like, once you get through No Man's Land, which honestly, like, depending on your character, isn't that bad to deal with, but the fact that she can pressure and mix from range like 3 while she doesn't really risk too much depending on who she's against to start throwing things like that out, it's kind of wild. And then once you get in her face, she could have a buffered CS waiting for you, a buffered SS waiting for you. She could you know, just run her mix. And it's just like, wow. Like, the damage is crazy. Like, she has amazing ring outs. Like, very accessible lethal hits, like 2-2A. Her post you guys solid. Like, it is what it is. It's not, like, amazing. Soul Charge, I think, is a good Soul Charge. I think we can all agree with that. Like, if you want to dump 2 bars onto someone real quick, just, you know, hit him with the Soul Charge 66k. It's like, oh, bye. It goes Half-Life. But yeah, like, and the thing is, like, I don't think there's a single person out there that can break CS. Because it's a 10 frame window. Or, I shouldn't say can't break CS, because, like, a lot of people can break CS, but, like, to do it consistently. Because it's, like, a 10 frame window, right? And assuming you're reacting in time you still have to mash fast enough to make it in that window. So 1 second is 60 frames, right? And it's a 10 frame window. That means you have to be able to mash 6 times a second minimum in order to consistently break CS on reaction. I can't do that. I don't know if anybody else can, but I can't. And it's like once you do break it, she's still +8. So it's like you better get ready to break it again or deal with something else. But yeah, it's tough. Who's up next though? Oh yeah, and I'm not even mentioning how good SS is. Like it's still a grip of damage. But yeah, on top of that, like her guard damage is good, her Oki's good. I feel like if she's gonna be able to pressure from that much of a range, she really shouldn't be that strong up close, or as strong as she is. Third. Who's third? Yeah, I want to say Siegfried, just because, like, you can really make the game hell for some characters while not losing that many matchups too hard. Like, whiff punishing him is mad difficult. Or did you ever do any grab besides SS or CS? Well, you don't have to buffer the other ones. So, like, otherwise you'd have to do something to make it not obvious that you're buffering something. But yeah, Siegfried base holds really, like, all of his tools just really work well together. Like, he's got the base hold, he's got chief hold, and those two things alone make punishing him kind of a chore. His frame data is great. They give him the +2 AGA. Scar damage is great. Like, and even when he does lose a round, assuming he doesn't want to like rage drive you to death with Dark Legacy being a comeback mechanic, he can still invest in this, into the next round, like very easily. Like, once you do that 6A+B bubble from Dark Legacy, that's a grip of guard damage. And it really won't take that much more to end up getting that guard break, which could give you like a grip of damage or a ring out. And if you're in Dark Legacy while you get the guard break, that's a free 3B lethal hit, since you're in a counter hit state. Now, if I were to like change Siegfried, I would make it so that it's easier for him to earn Dark Legacy through the CE stacks and the my hands and all that, but take away him getting it from just being in low life. Because say Siegfried's at like 85 health and I poke him into 75, I'm like, oh, I made a mistake for damaging Siegfried, because now I just made him that much stronger. And it's just like, oh. But yeah, one thing I feel like all these characters have in common is that they're able to run their game plan very effectively and enforce it on most of the roster. Who's the next one? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave Zas. Actually, no. I'll change it like that. There we go. They got matchup biased? I don't know. Cause like, if I was matchup biased, I'd be putting Talim, or not Talim, I'd be putting Talim like at shit tier, which I won't. But yeah, Zas, same thing, like guard damage great. His Oki's okay. Like, it is what it is depending on the situation. And And yeah, like he will make most of the roster play his game. Like it's pretty crazy. And like all of his tools work together too, especially when he has meter. Like even when Zas isn't using his CE, he's still kind of using his CE in a way, right? Because you're always gonna have that fear of like, oh, is he gonna do it then? And on a character who has amazing step catchers, like that's crazy. Because if you want to leave yourself in a beneficial spot after his CE, you have to sidestep it or backstep it or be out of the range somehow, which is like, you can really enforce a lot with that. Because if you block it, then he's plus and you have a curse on you, which is like, but yeah, his meter usage is actually like super underrated, and that's one of the main reasons why. 2B soul charges, oh my god, it's just crazy. It's Blender City. If you want to roll it, you're gonna get picked up and launched out the range. Oh man. But yeah, same thing. She can just run her game, run her mix, all that, with relative ease compared to most of the roster. And Mina, for some of the same reasons as Ivy, like she can pressure at a longer range than most of the cast can, and doesn't really suffer up close. She's got decent defensive tools, so it's like once you get in, like it's kind of like, what does it mean? You better not leave yourself minus, because if you do, then it's pretty much an even playing field. But yeah, I think another underrated thing that a lot of these characters have is the ability to whiff punish with relatively quick tools, like as will sword throw. Ivy's like a lot of shit. Mina, same thing from range. I feel like that's a very important thing against a lot of the roster, because there's times where some of these characters, like, yeah, they can make you whiff, but they're not really out of range a lot of the time where they can do anything with it. Because even if they have something that can reach that far, it's gonna be too slow. Yeah, that covers those. Yeah, I'll put Nightmare there. Nightmare's damage is dummy. I think like if you have a defensive playstyle, Nightmare's gonna be one of your best bets. He's got stupid good guard damage, stupid good Oki. I honestly think he has the best meter gain in the game, like, period. One of the best post GIs in the game, because there's a lethal it makes on it. What else? His armor really can negate a lot of pokes. Terror charge is very accessible. His lethal hits are very accessible. And yeah, like just a lot of the things that I feel like make a good character. Nightmare does really well. That being said, like, yeah, not having an I-12 kind of sucks, but it is what it is. There's some matchups where it can be hard for him. It's just that, like, his matchup chart's still pretty good. Who's next? I know I'm gonna put these guys here. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that role as far as A goes. Don't want to put them in order though. Yeah, I'll just say Mitsu above Amy. This tune's fire. Yeah, it's the best SC2 song. Anyways, yeah, Mitsu. Some of the best meter usage in the game. Great neutral. You can mix your shit just like almost everything you would want in a character. This character has. And he has very accessible lethal hits. His ring out game's solid. But yeah, like he just seems very threatening, like as a whole. Where's Geralt? Not on the list yet. I mean, Mitsu is good. It's just that very few people play him in America. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I'm trying to think. Like the good Mitsus I've played, Gung Ho, Forewind, and Skill. I think that's it. Those are the main ones that I just have a sample of playing from. First plays Geralt, so you won't be too high. Don't worry. Damn, bro. I guess. Hey, but don't I play as well? Gotcha ass. Yeah, it's been a while since I played Geralt. I'm not that good at him. But yeah, Amy. I think her kit just works well together. Kind of like how Zasalamel does. Her damage is pretty like underwhelming until you get those red roses up, or at least white roses. But like, she just has another like it's another one of those characters where it's like you see your game plan, like you can run it, and you can kind of get away with some things that others can't because of the fear of the parries or the fear of getting tech crouched by 22B, which is also a safe launcher, and or the fear of getting tech crouched by 4A, things like that. Like she has a lot of amazing tech crosses, and they kind of enforce each other with the parries, and it just works well together. Damn. Like, honestly, I kind of want to switch these two. It doesn't matter too much. Anyway, going on to the B tier. Let's put Taki here. Wait, does that make my top 10 we count? So 6. Okay. Do I want to say Taki's top 10? Yeah, I think she's better than the rest of the characters here. So, yeah. Where'd I put Grow? We'll get there soon. Anyways. I think Taki's great. She can, like, as far as like 50-50, like low mid and all that, like it's not amazing. But she's great for staggering. She's great for guard damage, which enforces staggering. Her punishment is amazing. Like 4BA as an I-12, that's insane. And 3B as an I-16, which means you have a 50-50 for ring outs on a level 2 GI on top of that. And also 3B is a launcher where you have to guess right twice to punish, which I mean is pretty tough. Granted, once it's blocked, the situation isn't in her favor, but it being an I-16 launcher where that's a thing is kind of scary. Geralt is so good. Yeah, that's where I put him next. But yeah, that's why I think Taki's good, just in a nutshell. I'm not gonna go too in depth for like every character and all their shit. It's for time reasons, but yeah. Oh, also for Taki, A6 lethal hit for like pretty much Half-Life is insane. Like her punishment game is great, assuming she's in range for it. So it's like Maxi right cross B. But that's slow though. That's like mad slow. Geralt, yeah, he's just straightforward. 6BB is stupid, Jordan's stupid. Outside of that, like he's just a standard caliber character. I think he's good. But yeah, like Oh, what do I want to say about his lethal hits? He like it depends on the matchup really, because like he can kind of make a lot of characters soul charges. I feel like he's soul charged with them, which can be tough, especially given how he makes a lot of the roster play neutral, which could be a good thing. And it's probably a good thing in most situations, but against like maybe Mina, not as much. Against Ivy, maybe not as much. How do you punish Taki's 3B? Well, she can do the normal 3B, which I believe is -16. She could do 3B into Empty Stalker, which I believe you can launch. But then you have to be careful of 3B into Stalker A, which is like -20. So also launchable. And in the first two, that can be like tough to deal with. Some characters can safely attempt to punish it. Yeah, that's true. I know I can get a 3K on it, and worst case scenario, I just whip a 3K. But that's like, eh. And that's assuming I'm in the 3K range. About 3B into Empty Jump? Yeah, Empty Stalker. You can punish that too. But you, like, again, you gotta be aware of the Stalker, eh? Who's next? This is tough. Am I up playing Astaroth? Yes, I am. This is another guy with polarizing matchups, but I feel like he has a game plan that he can run very well. Even on characters that like tech crouch a lot, he still has a great English crouch throw, which is like if you whiff it, it's very hard to whiff punish on reaction. Like you might as well just try to counter hit him out of it if you think he's gonna go for it. But yeah, his post GI is great because you really can't go wrong with A+B. It's not like you're gonna step it as far as level 3 goes, and it's a beneficial situation for him on block. So I think that's another thing that Astaroth has going for him, on top of a good soul charge. Astaroth is obese though. Yeah, well, he makes my combos drop, so it's a good thing for him. And I've heard he makes other characters combos drop. Yeah, who's next? Let's put Yoshi here. His ring outs are just crazy. Other than that, he's like pretty lackluster. I kind of don't like how they put all of the character's soul charge power into DGF. Which, I mean, that being said, it's still very applicable because Medk has tech crouch and tech jump frames. And it's also a forward advancing mid horizontal that has good frames on block. So you can easily just run that mix while you're in soul charge against a lot of the roster that can't contest it as easily. But yeah, other than that, like yeah, he's just pretty standard. Those ring outs are just crazy though. Like you gotta be careful. And the thing about his reverse ring out game is that if you want to back up and you don't want to try to deal with it, if you don't have like a projectile or something that can really make him panic, then it can be really tough because then he can just sit at like the ring edge in med and start charging meter on you. So it's like who's next? Put Voldo here. I know he's like a kind of knowledge checky character, but he still has like solid neutral tools. He has good Oki. His guard damage is there. His soul charge isn't bad. But yeah, the reason I'm just putting him here is because I think he's at least slightly better than the rest available. He's just a standard character to me. But he does have some pretty cheap tools. I give him that. Who's next? I'll put Raph here. I think he does pretty well as a defensive character that can kind of pressure you into wanting to be more offensive than you want to, if that makes sense. But he still has like his weaknesses. Like there's a range where you can just kind of sidestep for free on him and make him whiff his like anything that he would want to be aggressive in. And yeah, that being said, like his punishment is great. He can kind of create a mini game for whiff punishing him, where it's like, oh, dude, is he gonna RE or is he gonna keep pressing buttons? Now, granted, if your whiff punisher is anti-RE, then you don't have to play that game. But still, that being said, you can't enforce it on some of the roster. Yeah, that bleed. Yeah, that can get pretty difficult to deal with. Also, his Oki's good, especially with 1K and things like that. But yeah, that's why I'm putting Raph there. Let's put X right here. I would put her a little lower, but as long as the bug with the FC3A counter hit thing is in there, then it's like, okay, that just makes the character that much better. Because like after 2A counter hit, you gotta either deal with that or the FC3A plus B mix, which is a launch. And yeah, she has that. She has a 6A plus B, which is an amazing defensive tool. You can't re-GI it. I'm so jealous. But that being said, like there's just some matchups where she gets just shit on, and then there's some matchups where she shits on her opponent. So yeah, like this isn't the best like tournament consistency character, even though like even her worst matchups she still can make work. Like I don't think she has any 8-2s or anything, or 2-8s. But yeah, that's X. Yeah, we can put. Actually, I want to put Talim in front of X, just because like her guard damage is great. The RE cancel can help a lot, even though she is hurt a little bit more by whiffing it, since RE drains more guard damage or guard gauge. Her block punishment is pretty ass. It's pretty garbage, and her whiff punishment to a degree, unless you can get her whiffing in
Want a piece?
what is it? Wind Fury. Yo, Morphnos or Morphnos. Thanks for the follow. Yeah. Like I feel like she's really good for staggering, so I'll give her that. She has a game plan that she can run. And hearing from Talim players that Maxi is her worst matchup makes me think that like if that really is her worst matchup, then she doesn't really have it that bad. As far as her losing matchups. Ever hear of Black Desert Online? Yeah, I tried it, but looking at how post game looked, I didn't really want to continue with that MMO. Okay, let's go a little bit lower. Actually, no, I'll put Girl up here too. Yeah, his guard damage is great. He's got a good Oki, except for when he's an Avenger, outside of like certain situations. He's got a good soul charge. But yeah, it's just he just comes off as one of those like nothing too special characters compared to like the ones above him. He does not have good Oki. Well, okay, good Oki compared to like Maxi, Keelik, Tira. No, I would say it's pretty good because at least he has his 1A and his 3B tracks rolls pretty well. And you can place 4-4B in some things, or some situations. Anyway. Doesn't mean it's good, Oki. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, Oki. I'm gonna use better words. Because, alright, Oki. Yeah, that's that. I kind of want to put Sophie here. You know what? New row. B minus. Let's put these people there. And I want to put Sophie here too. Sophie's interesting. Cause like she has some of the best punishment in the game. Depending on if you're in range. Like, stab becomes either like really good or like eh. Because if you don't, like if you aren't in range, if it's tip range, then it's like actually minus for you. It's still okay damage for an I-14. And you're gonna be punishing like most lows in the game with it too, which is another bonus. But yeah, on top of that, like her auto GIs can be applicable in some situations, especially in a game where character defense is very important and character knowledge is very important. Her 2-2P is great, even though it's weak to a left side step and a left roll. Like that, it being a -2 natural hit launcher is amazing, and you can pretty much define your neutral around that. Her post GI is good. And also her lethal hits. Her lethal hits are great, and not great as in like the damage you get from it all the time, but great as in like they're very applicable and practical in like a tournament set, like the 4A plus B, the 1K hold, things like that. But yeah, she can be very impressive. Like you get her guard gauge, or you get your opponent's guard gauge down with her great guard damage on moves that you don't have to take too big of a risk on, and you break it with soul charge, then like you pretty much get saviors powered on a guard rate with the 2BB lethal hit. Or at least I think it's 2BB, something like that. Not lethal hit, but counter hit. Can we put Mina at BS tier? Nah, there's a S tier. I could put a B there. Nah, I'm just playing. Anyways. Yeah, we got the final four. Everybody's favorite. I like to call this depression tier. Now, what are we gonna order it in? Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like all of these people could be in like the same or similar order. Like, I'm just not gonna order the last one. But yeah, let's go over it. Oh yeah, Cassandra, yeah. Let's put Cass. That's interesting. Let's put Cass right. Cass after Geralt. There we go. But yeah, I'm just gonna put Cass after Geralt. Her frame data is really good. She can run good mixes. Her soul charge is very solid. She can really... Oh, and also, she has good whiff punishment. That too. Especially with DF, like an I-16 75 damage move. That's just crazy, dude. And since she does have good frame data, it's not too hard for her to make her opponent with. But yeah. On top of that, her block punishment is good too. Anyways, for the bottom tier, feels bad saying that. Let's start off with Keelik. He's just kind of like there. I might be wrong. Like, this might be a hot take, but I think his soul charge is good when it's in the right situation. I don't think it's straight up bad. Because the damage he gains and the situations he can create can often make up for the life that's draining from him while he's chipping them if they block. Why is Maxi bottom? I'll go over him next. Helix, yeah. Like, but yeah, that being said, his meter usage is pretty like bad. Like his CE sucks. He might actually have the worst CE in the game. I'm trying to like, let me look at the roster. Well, I guess Jolly CE. Yeah. Like the main question is like, who does Keelik really beat? Like it's not too many people. But I guess that's the situation for a lot of characters, except maybe, or a lot of characters on this row, except for maybe Serve. Like I think Serve might have the most good matchups out of all four of these characters. Maxi, yeah, but they're right next to each other. Yeah, like you're saying, man, like all he really has is a soul charge, 4k. I think Walt Rising B is pretty good, especially with the like small backswing he has. And he also I think he does a better job of catching backstep if you have the read for it than a decent amount of characters. But yeah, other than that, like why can't you like why would you give a lethal hit to a move on an auto GI? You can re-GI. It just doesn't make sense. Rising B is good until you fight a character that can punish it, then it's like, be careful. Yeah, that's true. But like, moves aren't always, like moves don't have to be good in every matchup. Like Maxi's 2-2A, for example. There's some matchups where it's like, wow, I don't really want to use this at all because like I'm gonna get clocked by moves that have very similar range and are twice the speed. So yeah, I can get their timing for it, but I'm gonna have to work like way harder to get a reward for having their timing. But that's just like an example. Like moves don't really have to be like left outer A. That's only good in some matchups, but it is what it is. It's just like what really matters is how many matchups, and if it's not that many, then it's like But yeah, Killick's just not special. He's just kind of there. Yeah, Maxi. Let's talk about my boy Maxi. Why is Talim so low? Like, she has to work so hard to run her game, and there's so many situations where risk reward isn't in her favor. And her game plan's kind of designed around like running those situations because her neutral tools aren't good. Or, well, most of them aren't. Her block punishment isn't that good. Her whiff punishment isn't that good. She's not that good until she's wall splatting you. Yeah, if she soul charges and your back's to a wall, good luck. That's all I gotta say, good luck. But yeah, Maxi, I think his meter usage is a little better than Keelix. Like his C is good, but his soul charge is kind of like it's I'd say it's a below average soul charge. He does get good shit from it though. Like the soul charge 6A plus B, it's a good whiff punish. And it's guaranteed damage on a level 2 GI. Want a piece? Reziek, thanks for the follow. Yeah, and he has eyebrows. Like, look at those eyebrows. They're fire. What else? What's good about Maxi? Oh, what did I say earlier? What's good about Maxi? 6A plus B is a good tech crouch. 2-2A is good in some matchups. It's like, it's probably one of his best moves in a decent amount of matchups. Yo, what's up, CJ? Right in time for the downplay. No, I'm just playing. Maxi has good damage. Yeah, he has good damage when he gets it, but it's like the shit he has to risk in order to get that good damage is like, yikes. And you'd be surprised if you ever play him, the things that you can't hit confirm. So that just adds on to it. Hey, thanks for the sub, CJ. I appreciate it. Yeah, and a lot of that damage is through counter hits anyway. In situations where it's like he doesn't really have that much to enforce counter hits. Six A plus B and a lot of his whiff punishes hit hard. Like which ones? Like his 3B is average like 50 damage. 6A plus B does like, I'd say standard or maybe slightly above average damage for I-16 punish. His I-14 punish, well, he doesn't have I-14B, so like as far as I-14 punishing goes, it's below average. His AA is good on hit, so I'll give him that. As far as 18, his 18 frame does less damage than his 16. And that's another thing about his 16 is like, yeah, it punishes minus 16, but like you got to be in range for it. It's not like one of the longer range 16 frame punishes like Cass, or it's even shorter range than Geralt's. This tier list is very similar to how I would make it. Yeah, like I tried to avoid all the matchup bias when I make this, and when I make all of mine, so it is what it is. But yeah, outside of that, like Maxi's risk to reward is just not good, and I'd rather them change the risk factor more than the reward factor if they could, just to make it so it's more practical to get that damage in. He murders you for being defensive and can murder you for mashing. Yeah, I think Astaroth was pretty shit when GI was nerfed. That was probably like one of his worst points. Well, actually no, maybe released, because that character was like non-functional. But yeah, like GI being a thing and his post GI being good is a really good thing for him. Is this ordered? Yeah, everything except the bottom row. And actually the bottom two rows, because I think you could just put all of these characters the same way. But yeah. What else about Maxi? Yeah, just his stance game, Risterwood is pretty dookie, and hopefully like they change that. I don't want Maxi to be like the knowledge check, reaction check character. Hey Pyman, no, Alicia, how do you know about that? No. I was 10. Okay. I was 10. Stop. But yeah, yeah, I just really hope for season 2 they change the direction of Maxi. I don't want him to be knowledge reaction check. I want him to be able to compete with the people that know the matchup within reason. That'd be really cool. They could start by not making neutral guard re-GI-able. I'm the fucking best. Oh, okay, that's fair. My 10-year-old username was DemiPie. Oh, okay, yeah, Anders is with me. Speaking of Anders, Geralt and B. Yes, that's true. That is where he is. Cervantes. Nah. Like, if Serve was consistent, I'd put him higher, but yeah. Daxta, what it do? Yo, that's my 8-way run name. Or it was. Oh man, I had some cringe ass names. We were about to fight. Oh, okay. Anyway. Tira, nah. Why do you think Zas is higher than 2B? I'm curious. I don't think, like, honestly, like, these two could be interchangeable. I just, like, there's no way for me to put 2B on top of Zas, so I just put him that way. Have you played against Zas? Yeah, I played against Omega DR. I want to play him more. Nitty. I haven't played SHK. I haven't played any of the European Zas's though. Yeah, for Cervantes, he's just kind of like there. I feel like overall what makes a character good is the ease of running the game plan and their archetype. And of course, like, how strong that game plan is and how strong that archetype has a lot to do with it. But like, when you have Serve here, where they throw a lot of his power into his 3B and it doesn't launch at tip, it's kind of tough. I think he does a decent job at killing step though, and his frame data is solid, and 2A plus B is a neutral destroyer for some characters. But yeah, he's just kind of nothing special on top of being inconsistent. Tira's interesting because I feel like out of all these characters, I would not recommend Tira if you want to be a successful tournament player. Part of that is due to her nature of being inconsistent, but on top of that, like, her guard damage isn't there, her Oki's kind of trash. Like, and Coda and Gloomy kind of make up for that, but Jolly's just kind of like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna put her lower into a lower tier though, because she can make it hard on some characters, especially with the threat of mood switches in neutral. She can counter hit fish with that against a decent amount of roster, especially with how good 6B is in Jolly and how it like step catches every direction. But it's kind of like, man, even her normal tools are just below average, like, and some of her frame data just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's my list. Are there any questions or anyone you want to see moved, or try to convince me to move someone at least? I think Tira is really good, like sleeper good. Like, what makes her really good? I'm interested. You need to be dedicated Tira main and good at neutral. But like, what does Tira do better than like any of these other characters? To like any noticeable degree. I can't think of too many things. I don't give a fuck about this list. I want to know the origin story of Pieman Bob 33. I legit think that I did not think about it at all. Like, it just happened. There's no backstory. I just typed it out one day and went with it. I think X is at least mid-tier. What makes X at least mid? I think she's close to mid. Probably at like the lower side of mid. Or the higher side of low. She's better at costing extra money to spend on SC6. Oh yeah, that's true. There's that. Her Gloomy though? Yeah, Gloomy 3A is really good. I think it's hit confirmable too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sane step kills in range. Are you talking about? Oh yeah, just Gloomy. I don't know if they're really insane.
Whoa, hey!
Hey, Alicia with the gift sub, thank you. She just lacks damage, but if she got a boost in damage, she'd be OP. She has all the things she needs. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if a character is just alright and just solid in this game, then there's gonna be a decent amount of characters above that, just because of like how some of them are designed. Yeah, you got the riches in chat. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like more characters beat X than X beats characters in the roster. Not to some like crazy degree, but it's still like there. She's not very punishable. That's true. There's that. Trying to think if I want to change anybody here. I still feel like X belongs here though. It's just kind of like she has to win neutral so much compared to most of the roster. And like that's not too bad of a problem since her Oki's decent, but yeah. So you're talking more bad matchups. She does, but I think she's an extremely solid character. Yeah, she's yeah, I agree with that. She's solid, but at the end of the day, what makes a character lower high tier is their matchup chart. Like, a character can be a very well-rounded character and still lose more matchups than win, just because the characters above her, or I don't want to say above, but there's a decent amount of characters that are just like inherently stronger. Like, that can be a thing, and that's a thing in other fighting games too. Koda is broken because she has all the tools needed to contain your movement, plus a SS that heals her. Yeah, but you can step that one though, so I wouldn't really call it a SS. Like sidestep. And Koda is really good, but for one, you're not really gonna get that every game. Like, that's not really practical. It's kind of hard for her to kill rolls too, like in any situation. Did you go over Sophie at all? Everyone puts her kind of low. Yeah, I did. Like, she's just another one of those like nothing too special characters. She does do some things really well though. Oh, I'll give her that. Koda sidestep heals her? No, he means like summon suffering, like the throw. But yeah. Generally think if we had a Tira specialist who was also fantastic at neutral, she'd be consistent at making top 8s. Like, Isles has been making top 8s recently though. Oh, and speaking of Isles, there he is right here. Yo. Dog, it's the trend, man. I gotta make a tier list. It's tier list season. But yeah, I'm excited to see what ATB Max does at his next tournament, because he's also really good. Even with Coda, she's mid tier. I don't know if there was like a permanent Coda Tira, I'd probably put her like maybe even up here, probably around here, like A, because it can get scary and the damage is like, jeez. Also, Tira's backstep is great. Like, it's amazing. It's kind of crazy how good it is. And she can actually kind of work with it. Yeah. Let me do the screenshot. Let's go on straight to Twitter. Or wait, is there a way for me to like download it? Yeah, there is. Cool. I'm just gonna post it right now and then go back to Soulcalibur. Also, if anyone has any other like opinions or things you disagree with or things you agree with, just let me know. Cause I think that's what's good about tier lists is they create good discussions. Oh, well, I guess I'll do it later. Let's see. I get the game open. I'm just gonna keep playing for the rest of the stream.